This conference will now be recorded.
In the previous session, we started developing search page. Okay, we started developing search page. Our requirement is we are taking input from the user. What is the input? What is the input from the user? That is nothing but one text. That text we will treat it as a account name. Okay, we are taking input from the user. Okay, once user enter this input and click on the submit button, what we are expecting, we have to search whatever user entered right here. Based on that, we have to search in the account object. Account is a object, right? In the object we will create records, right? In the account object we have to search. Okay, in the account object we have to search. Okay, where name is equals to this entered text. If any records are there, those records we have to display to the user. If any records are there, those records we have to display to the user. This is our requirement. Those record we have to display to the user. So here we developed a visual force page. We are working with the classic version and we developed a visual force page. My visual force page name is this one. Suppose if you want to open, click on this one. Okay, click on this one, click on this preview. This is one option. Otherwise, go to the developer console. Okay, go to the developer console. We already developed a visual force page, right? Now we want to reopen that visual force page, right? Reopen that visual force page. Go to file and click on this open. Okay, click on this open. Okay, or open resource, anything, open resource. Here we have in the left hand side classes, triggers, pages are there. Click on the pages. We are trying to opening a visual force page which we created in the previous session. Yes, it is displaying our visual force page. Click on this open button. So this is my visual force page. So our requirement is like this. See, this is our requirement. We have to develop this page. So the first step what we did, we used apex page tag. Okay, we want to create new page, right? We want to create a new page. Okay, in the classic version we want to create a new page, apex colon page. Okay, this is a opening tag and this is a closing tag. For every opening tag there should be a closed tag. Okay, closed tag. Then the next one is, this is a text box, right? This is a text box, and beside that we have to add some name, right? Some text we want to add. This technically we will call it as the labels. Okay, technically we will call it as a label. So here that's why we are using apex output label value is equals to enter account name, and we are using, this is a text box, right? Apex colon text, input to text, apex colon input to text. Whenever we are using a text box, or whenever we want to take input from the user, then which tag we should use? We should use apex form tag. Suppose we will not use apex form tag, then it will display an error message. Okay, suppose you are taking an input from the user, whether it is a drop down list or checkbox or text box, anything, we are collecting some information from the user. While collecting some information from the user, first we have to use apex form tag. That's what Salesforce is saying. So here we are using apex form tag, and this is one button, right? When user click on this button, then only we want to display our result, right? This is technically we will call it as a command button. How we develop this command button? Apex colon command button. Then what is your command button name? That here we are using value is equal to such attribute. Here we are using, okay, value is equal to such attribute. Here we are using. Then here I want some heading. Okay, that is nothing but we are using page block tag. Here we are using. So this is my visual force page. So we developed a visual force page. Now what is my next step? User he will enter data, then click on the submit button. Then we want to display the accounts where with this particular name. The accounts where with this particular name, that we have to display to the user. That is our requirement. So whenever we will click on the submit button, what happened in the backend? This is web application. This is application. This is a UI. Whenever any action, any clicks, whenever we will click any button or any action is happening in the UI, then our request it will go to the server. Here, where is server? What type of server here we are using? That's not required. It is our Salesforce is a cloud computing. We are not installing any software, nothing we are doing. But everything is inbuilt. Everything is inbuilt. Server is available. Everything is inbuilt. Whenever we will click on the submit button, our request it will go to the server. Our request it will go to the server. From the server it will check. It will check. For what it will check? Here you mentioned in the controller, right? Controller you will mention one Apex class, right? For Apex class it will search. Yes, Apex class is there. Apex class is there. So it will go to this, it will search for this particular Apex class. So where we mentioned, here we mentioned that controller is equals to Apex class. Okay, if whenever we will click on the submit button, our request it will go to the server. From the server it will search for our Apex class and it will find our Apex class. Then what is the next step? So whenever we will click on the submit button, we want to execute our logic, right? So generally, where will write our logic? Where will write our logic? Inside methods only, right? Inside methods only we will write a logic. So finally, we are going to write our class. So go to here, file, open resource, open resource. Here we have to observe, open is there, open resource is there as our comfort. Open resource, open, two options are there. Open resource, I'm going, you go to here, click on this open. Okay, click on this open. So this is my Apex class, public class, class name, and here we are writing a constructor. We are declaring variables here, and this is a this is a method, this is a method. Now coming into here, our requirement is when user click on the submit button, whatever user entered the text, right, that text we have to take. Based on that text we have to search in the account object, right? So the first step is whatever user entered data, right, this data we have to store into the variables. We have to store into the variables. So go and declare any variable name, any variable name. This variable, what kind of data it will store, that it will declare. You have to go and use access modifiers. We want to bring the data from visual force page into Apex class, right? Here you will just go and use, you will just go and use setters and getters. Okay, setters, and directly go and use setter and getter here. Okay, go and use setters and getter here. So we declared one variable, right? How now, how this text box know, how this text box know? Okay, text box know. So we have to populate this data into this particular variable. In the sense means we have to do mapping or binding. The terminologies we will call it as a mapping or binding. Coming into this text box, and you have to, whatever the value is there, right, your value is equals to, value is equals to that variable name. That variable name here we have to mention, we have to assign. Then the next one is go and declare one method here. Go and declare one method. So a what type of method means any method name, any name, and initially you have to mention it as a void, and the access modifier is nothing but public. Why we are using public means this is a method. Suppose I will not write anything, then what happened? By default the access modifier is nothing but a private. Private means within that particular class it is available. But we want to use this method in the visual force space. We want to use this method in the visual force space. That's why here we are using public access modifiers. So now coming into here, action is equal to this particular name. Action is equals to, sorry, this method name. So whenever we will click on this command button, we are telling to the command button you have to execute this action. Action means it will treat, yes, this is a method. If this is a method, where it will search inside this Apex class, it will go to this Apex class here. It will go to this particular Apex class. From this Apex class it will search this method. It will search this method. In this method what we are doing, in this method what we are doing, so here you have coming into here. In this method what we are doing, so first we are trying to searching, we are trying to fetching, we are trying to fetching the accounts. From where we are trying to fetching, already we have an account object is there. In account object records are there, records are there. This is account object. In this account object we are searching, boss, I have some text, some name is there, some text is there. With this name any account records are there here, any account records are there in this particular account object. We are taking the data and we are from the method we are trying to searching. Where we are searching? In the account object. Account object, here we are trying to searching any records are there with this particular name. Yes, how we are searching, what is the syntax here? Select. So account record, in the sense account object, in the sense means we have a lot of fields are there, right? So which fields we want? those fields only, those fields API names. Just remember, whenever we are writing a programming, whether it is a standard object or custom object, standard field or custom field, always we should use API names only. Here, all these are the standard fields. Okay, I want only these fields. Based on my requirement, we want only these fields. So from account object. So what is the condition here? User will enter some text based on that condition, where name equals to colon we are using here. Colon we are using. What do you mean by colon? Whatever user entered the text, right, that text we are storing into this variable, right? That variable here we are using. This is called dynamic query. This is called dynamic query. So as the result, we will search in the account object. See, by writing this query, we will search in the account object. It will give how many account records it will give. We are not guaranteed. We are not guaranteed how many account records it will give. One record it will give, or two records it will give, or n number of records it will give. That's why here we are using list. Here we are using list. Here we are using. Okay. Here we are using list. Suppose we are guarantee. Remember, we are guarantee if there is only one record, then there is no use of. I mean, we will directly use account only like this. We will directly use account only. We are not guarantee how many records this SOQL query will give as a result. Then we have to go and use a list. Maximum 95% we will use the list. 5% we will use the map. When we will use the map, we'll discuss that. So but we are guarantee only one record is coming, means we will use like this. We are not guarantee how many record, in the sense means we will just go and use like this, list or map. But 95% we will use a list. When we will go with the map means we'll discuss. So list is order based. In interview also sometimes ask SQL query return type is what? Return type is nothing but list. Why list? It is a order based. Okay. So now it is fetching all the records from the account object, and it is storing into this particular list. Now in this list I have some records are there. So that records we have to display to the that records we have to display in the front end. Okay. So how to pass the data to the front end? Front end means how to pass the data into the visual code space. How we are going to pass the data? See, here this is a local variable, right? Local variable. So local variable, what do you mean by local variable? Local variable, instance variable, static variable, the variables which are declared inside curly braces, those variables are called local variables. The visibility of that local variables is within this particular sphere, within this particular bracket, this is a local. I just declared here, forget about this one, see, we declared here only, we declared. Finally this list of accounts contain account record. We want to display those account records in the visual code space, those records in the visual code space. So then what is the next step? This is a local variable. Local variable visibility is within this particular method only. The variables which are declared inside here, those variables we will call it as a local variables inside curly braces. Then what we have to do is we will just go and declare one instance variable with the setters and getters. So now we are passing the data. See here, we are preparing the data here. We are preparing by executing this SQL query. We are preparing the data here. This data we have to pass from server to visual force space. Previously we are collecting the data. It is coming to the servers, from the server to the controller. So finally it will perform some logic. That logic we are trying to pass into the server, from the server into the visual force space. So here that's why we are using setters and getters, and this variable we are declaring at the top of the class. That is nothing but instance variable. Okay. Now we understand, right? What is the difference between local variables and instance variable? Local variables within this particular bracket. Suppose we want to display outside of the class, then we have to go and declare a instance variable or static variable. Here we are using instance variable. Now we have data in the list of accounts. We have data in the list of account. So shall we verify the data is there or not? How we will verify? System.debug list of accounts. See here, list of accounts, list of accounts. Okay. list of accounts. You will just go and activate the debug logs. You will just go and activate the debug logs, and you have to find how the data is displayed. Okay, how the data is displayed. Now we have the data, that data is in this particular variable. Now what we will do is go to the visual force space. Go to the visual force space. Okay, now you will just go and add anywhere. Go to this form and add anywhere. Records are okay. Now display like this. This is a variable, right? This is a variable, open curly braces, open this exclamatory, and here directly we'll just go and use this variable. Try to save this one. Try to save this one. Let's see what it will happen. Okay, let's see what it will happen. Click on this preview. You can go and add anywhere. Let's see. First, we will see the output. Click on this preview. Click on this preview. And here I will just go and enter Ramesh. Click on the search button. See how the record is coming. Record ID is coming, right? Record ID is coming, right? For example, I will just go and put like test. Click on the search button. See how records IDs are coming, right? You will understand which record is this one. No, we will not understand, right? We will not understand. So it is storing the data. We are storing the data into this particular variable. We are storing the data into this particular variable. Now we are trying to displaying. We are trying to displaying by using the same variable. By using same variable, we are trying to display in the visible for space. By using same variable directly, I will take that particular variable we are directly using in the visual for space. Then how it is displaying? What is the result? See, this is the result. I am the user. I will understand what is this record, what is this numbers. I don't know. Then how we are going to display? How we are going to display? Suppose we will directly use that particular variable in the UI. So we are collecting the data. We are collecting the data into this particular variable, and suppose we will directly use that particular variable in the UI. Then what will happen? So it will display like this. It will like display like this. So user he will not understand this format. Then how? Then how? So there is a page block table and data table. Two tags are there. Page block table. Okay. And data table. Data table. Page block table tag and a data table tag is there. We will just go and search for the syntax. Where we will search for the syntax? Go to the developer guide. Okay, Apex developer guide. Go to here, Apex developer guide. Apex developer guide. For Apex developer guide, click on this one. Apex Visual Force page, right? Visual Force page developer guide. Go to here, we have page block table is there, data table is there. Page block table, see here. These tags, whatever we are discussing, right? That tags we should we have to remember. Okay, we have to remember. Page block here. Page block table. Sorry, page block table tag is there. Page block table tag is there. Page block table tag is there. Scroll down here. Scroll down here. Here you have to observe this is the syntax. Page block table. So what they are trying to say, page block table, right? Suppose you want to write a page block table. This is a opening tag, Apex page block table. We will write here only. Okay, coming in here. Suppose we want to write a page block tables here. Apex colon page block table open bracket close one, right? Open bracket close one, right? Then it is saying suppose you want to use the page block table on the top of this one. You have to go and use Apex space block. Apex space block. Okay, Apex space block. For example, we will just go and use directly. Yeah, I will explain. Okay, so page block table. This is a opening tag and this is a closing tag. What Salesforce is saying, suppose you want to use page block table tag. Suppose you want to use page block table tag. First on the top of this one, on the top of this one, you have to go and use page block tag only. Page block tag only. Go to here. Here you have to observe on the top of this one, page block tag is there, right? Page block tag is there, right? Then in the page block table, we have two attributes is there. Value is one attribute and the next one is variable is one attribute. Okay, variable is in one attribute. So coming into this is a list of accounts, right? Here out of this is a list of accounts, right? List of account. In this list of account, suppose we want to find any account is there with the name yes. Any account is there with the name yes. Then I want to perform some logic. Just observe here. This is my list. In this list, one account is there, 10 account is there, 100 account is there. It doesn't matter. 100 accounts are there, it doesn't matter. Okay, suppose we want to find any account is with the name something or type is equal to like this. So then what we will do, we have to use for loop, right? You remember for loop. Coming into here, for loop we will use, right? For loop. Okay, which list? This list, right? This list. Okay, this list. And here we will, this list is which type? Account type, right? What is the variable here? What is the variable here? Some reference variable, we will just go and use it here, right? So this is a for loop, right? So why we are using here for loop? Suppose you are getting some accounts. In that account, if type is equal to something, then I want to perform some business logic. Then how we are going to achieve? We will just go and use for loop, right? We will just go and use for loop. Page block table is also the same thing. It is also like for loop only. It is also like for loop only. First of all, which list you want to check? Which list we want to check? We want to check this list, right? We want to check this list, right? Go to here, go to here. You have to go and put like this. Which list we want to check? This list we want to check. Then what is a variable? So each and every account it will take. While taking, we have to go and put some name. We have to go and put some name. Yes, each and every variable, each and every record it will take. First record it will take and it will assign into this particular variable. Next, what is my next step? We want to display, right? We want to display, right? So go to here and you have to go and use columns. Then which value we want to display? Value is equals to, first we will see the output, then we will discuss. Okay, then we will discuss. See, this is my column. This is my column. So we are trying to using page block table. Why we are using page block table? Suppose we want to we have some account records are there. Now we want to display those account records to the user. We have to display those account records to the user. Suppose we will directly display, then what it will happen? The look and feel is not good. Then how? We have page block table is there and a data table is there. Page block table is there and a data table, two tags are there. Here we are working page block table. How to write a page block table is nothing but, so it should be on the top, and the root tag for the page block table is nothing but page block. Then coming into here page block table, which list we want to check? Which list we want to check? That is nothing but value is equal to this one. And each and every account record we have to assign into this particular variable. So from this one, it will take the first record, that first record name it will display. It is like exactly for loop only. Exactly for loop. See here, for loop. Okay, for loop. What we are doing? What we are doing here? So which list we are trying to display in this list, right? Yes, in this list we are taking each and every variable, right? That variable name is, we will just go and put anything, right? Here also we'll just go and put anything. But here we are using account, right? Here there is no need of using anything. Okay, it is exactly for loop only. It is exactly for loop. Now what I will do is I will just go on to write this code, remove this one, remove this one. Now go to here. This is a page block, right? This is a page block. Now go to here. We are writing up. For example, I will just go and write outside of the page block. Let's see here. Outside of the page block, we will just go and use page block table, page block table. We are using outside of the page block. Apex page block table. Okay. Now try to save this one. Let's see what it will happen. See, missing required attribute value. Okay, it is saying you are missing something here. You will just go and put value attribute. Okay, go and put value attribute also. Finally, try to save this one. Finally, try to save. formula expression. Okay, it is saying you have to write a formula expression here. Then go to here, what is my variable name? This is a list of accounts, right? Directly go and use. Okay, it is saying you have to use in the formula expression. Then variable is equals to v. Okay, variable is equals to v. Finally try to save this one. Let's see what it will happen. Must be contained in R. See here you have to observe. Suppose we will write page block table outside of the space block. Outside of the space block we are writing. Then it is not accepting. Okay, you have to write inside the page block only. Now go to here. Go to here. Page block table. Okay, page block table value is equals to this one. Now go to here. We want to display account name. First we will see the output. Then we will discuss. Column value is equals to v. Okay, v dot name. What is this column? We'll see the output and we'll discuss finally. Try to save this one. Now go to here. We'll just go and execute. Click on the preview button. Click on the preview. Go to here. Enter account name is there, right? Amaze. Click on the search button. See, now we are getting the output, right? The account name. Only one account name is there. For example, test is there. Click on the search test. See how many account records are there. Nearly 71 account records are there. For example, I will search ABC. Click on the search. Click on. See, one account record is there, right, with the ABC name. Okay, one account record. So which format here it is coming? This format. This is a table format. This is a table format. For example, go to contact or any object. Go to any object. Go to any object here. Here you have to observe in this format only. Here it is coming, right? See here, the look and feel is coming in this format only, right? Yeah, here you have to observe the look and feel is coming in this format only, right? In this format. Go to accounts. In the standard format only, here it is coming, right? Standard format only, here it is coming, right? So by using page block table, it will display the records in the standard Salesforce table format. So Apex page block table. First of all, Apex page block table, it should be under page block. It should be under page block. That is first point. Okay. Apex page block table, it should be under page block. The second one is which list we are going to display. Which list? Yes, this list. Value is equal to this one. Then we want to check each and every account, right? So variable is equals to v or anything, any name, it doesn't matter. Then we have to bring the first account name and we have to display the second account name and we have to display the third account name, we have to display. Then you have to go and use apex colon column. Apex column value is equals to v dot, what is this name, where it will come, where it will come in the sense means this name. So in the SQL query, whatever we are using, right, whatever we are using, right, those names. Suppose we want to display the type, go to here, apex here, apex column, apex column value is equals to, value is equal to which one we want to display, value is equals to v dot type, v dot type. Okay. V dot type. Now it is fine, right? Apex column value is equals to, okay, value is equals, now it is fine, right? Try to save this one. Try to save this one. Now go to here. Go to here. Click on this preview. Click on this preview. Now go to here. Go to here. ABC, any name. Search here. The account name for this account type is equals to this one. For this account type is equals to this one. So here you have to observe directly this column name is coming, right? Directly this column name is coming, right? We did not mention anywhere, right? We are just using column tag we are using, and here under this value we are using which field we want to display. Then how exactly the column here name means, what is the name, label name, account name, right? What is the type, label name, type only, right? For example, rating is there. What is the rating? Suppose I will directly go to here, I will use rating, v dot rating, v dot rating. Finally, try to save this one. Now go to here, and you have to search here. Click on this one. See ABC. Click on this search. See account name, type, rating. Automatically it is coming the label name right here. We are not telling to the system you have to take the label name. Then how here it is coming? Because of we are using page block table, that's why it will automatically take whatever you are mentioned the right column, this column, okay, this column label name automatically it will take. Suppose you don't want this column name, you want, see, header value. Let's see here it will support or not. Name. Okay, finally try to save this one. Header, yes, header value. Suppose I don't want this label name. Suppose we don't want this label name. Go to here, ABC, click on this search. See here, now it is coming as a name, right? Now it is coming as a name, right? So what I'm trying to say is whenever we are using the column and here value is equals to this name field we are using, right? What is the label name for that particular field? Label name for that particular field, account name. That's why here it is directly coming. Suppose we don't want that label name, we want our own name, is we will directly go and use header value. And here you have to observe one more thing. Here you have to observe one more thing. Go to account object, go to account object, go to here, we will display one more field, that is nothing but any field. For example, a country is there, we want to display this particular field, we want to display. Go to here, apex column, apex column, column values equals to values equals to v dot country. This is API name, right? We are directly using this one. Try to save this one. Try to save this one. Now you will just go and execute this one. Go to here, ABC. Let's see what it will happen. Click on search. See, it is giving some error. Yes object. What do you mean by yes object? Salesforce object, not standard object. Okay. Salesforce object row was retrieved via SOQL without querying the requested field. What is this meaning? Means we are using one field for displaying, but that field you are not using in the SOQL query, right? Go to here. I am not using in the SOQL query. Directly we are using here. That's why it is displaying an error message. So whatever we are using this field, right, that here we have to use in the SOQL query. That here we have to use in the SOQL query. That's what system it is saying. You are using one field directly and that field you are not querying. That's why we are displaying an error message. See, there is no a country. There is no a country. So now coming into here, we are getting some records, list of account record. Now we want to display those list of account records to the user. Suppose we will directly use list of account variable, yes, it will display, but it will not display in proper format. Okay, now we want to display in the table format or in the proper format to the user. What are the options are there in the sense? Means page block table is there, data table is there. So page block table, what is the syntax? Means the first thing is, so it should be below apex page blocks here. It should be below apex page block. It should be below apex page block. Why it should be below apex page block? In the sense, means here you have to observe automatically it is taking the label name, right? Label name. That's why it should be under page block. Under page block. Okay. So page block table tag should be under page block. That is the first point. The second point is value. Which list we are trying to display? Which list? That list you will directly go and use it. Then variable attribute, here we have to go and use it. Okay. Any name. Then go to here, you have to go and use apex column value is equals to this v dot, v is nothing but what, this SOQL query, right? This records only, right? This record, which field we want, you will just go and use that field, name, type, rating, country. Okay, name, type, rating, country. Then it will display like this. Any questions or any confusion? Any confusion or anything? Okay. Now go to the data table. Okay, go to the data table. Data table is also the same thing. See, go to here, apex data table. See here, data table data table value is equals to here, value is equals to go to here, this one, and the next one is, variable is equals to v. Okay, anything. So same thing. Then take this one, apex column, you have to display. Let's see. First we will see the output. Try to save this one. Now go to here, refresh this one, enter ABC. Here, enter ABC, click on the search button. See how here it is coming, here it is coming. This is account name. This is type. Okay, this is parent. I mean partner code. This is partner code. Sorry, installation partner is nothing but a type. This is one value, but here it is not coming in the proper table format, right? It is coming in the standard table format. So here what we will do is, here we will go to here, header value is equals to name, and here also we will just go and use it, header value is equals to type, and here header value is equals to rating, here header value is equals to country, okay? It is now, headers are not coming. Whenever we are using data table, what we observed, directly values are coming, but here we are using like this, means headers are coming, right? Headers are coming, column names are coming. What is the column name for this one? What is the column name for this one? For each and every this one, what is the label name? Here it is coming. Okay, but here in this case it is directly displaying the data only. Now we will just go and verify here. See here, name, type, okay, name, type, rating, country. Let's see, we will just go on to search here, ABC, search this one, name, type, rating, country. So what is the observation here is, it will always display the standard Salesforce table format. What do you mean by standard Salesforce format? In the sense is, open any records, this is right, this format only it is displaying it. That is, we will call it as a standard Salesforce format. Page block table, it will always display the data in the standard Salesforce format. Data table, it is in the customizable format. Which format we want? In that format we will just go on to develop. Other than that, everything in the same thing. Both are to display the data in the visual force space. Page block table is nothing but standard Salesforce format. Data table is nothing but it is a custom table format. Which format you want, you will just go on to display. Whenever we are using page block table, I will always display in the standard Salesforce format only. So other than that, there is no difference. Data table we can write anywhere. It is not like under page block only. It is not like under page block. Okay, it is not under page block. Okay, it is not under page block. We can write anywhere. Anywhere we can write this data table tag. Okay, but page block table tag we should write under the page block tag only. So this is a standard Salesforce format. This is customizable format. This we should write under page block only. This wherever we want, we will just go and write it. In interview also, they will ask how we are going to display the data in the visual force page by using page block table and data table. What is the difference between those two? Page block table is, it is a standard Salesforce format, standard Salesforce table format. Data table is nothing but custom format. Page block table is under page block only. Data table, wherever we want, we will just go and write it. What is the syntax? Means apex colon page block table value is equals to that list, variable is equal to, that is a reference variable name, apex column value is equals to this one. Any questions on this one? Any questions? I'm stopping recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
Finally we developed one visual force page and apex class, right? Now we want to give this visual force page to the user. How we are going to give this visual force page to the user? We have to make it this one as a tab or detail page button. We have to make this Visual Force page as a tab or detail page or buttons. Here we are going to make our Visual Force page as a tab. How to make a tab? Go to setup. Go to setup. In the quick find, you have to type it as a tab. Click on the tabs. Click on the tab. Now go to here. Go to here. Visual Force page tabs are there, right? Visual Force page tabs. Click on this new button. Click on this new button. Now what is my Visual Force page name? Search here. What is my Visual Force page name? Search account VA page, right? Go to here. We are trying to developing one Visual Force page. Now we have to present to the user. How we are going to present to the user? So we have to make this one as a tab or search page or button. Okay, search account or for example entity search. I will call it as a entity search. Why we are giving entity search means my client is asking. Okay, my client is asking entity search. Go to here, click on this one, select this one, any color, click on next, click on next. Providing secure to all profiles in all app. Click on the save button. Click on the save button. Now we created one tab, right? So now go to here, this tab, go to here. 1 second, I'm just removing unnecessary things. Now your new product, customer, product, price book, remove all these things. Finally try to save this one. Now coming into your entity search, user will come to here, click on this one, click on this one, remove unnecessary display data table thing. I'm commenting this one, I'm commenting this one here. This is called multi-line comment. Okay, we are commenting multiple lines at a time, right? This is called multi-line comment. Okay, this is called multi-line comment. Okay, now go to here. So enter, this is my tab. User will come to here and click on this one, enter the account name, click on the search button. See, the account records is displaying, right? So this is where we developed this tab in the classic version and Visual Force page, right? This version is available in the Lightning or not? Yes, it is available. Go to the Lightning. Switch to Lightning Experience. Okay, switch to Lightning Experience. Okay, switch to Lightning Experience. Go to here. Go to the tab. Go to App Launcher. Okay, Entity here. Entity Search. Click on the Entity Search. See how the look and feel is how it is not good, right? I mean the look and feel is not compatible with this lightning version, right? We have one more option. See, one more option. Go to here, whatever our Visual Force page is there, right? Go to here, lightning style sheet equals to true. Lightning style sheet equal to true. I mean, go to Visual Force page, and in the page tag we have one attribute that is nothing but lightning style sheet equal to true. What I am trying to say is, suppose we want to access that entity search tab in the lightning version. Yes, it is available, but look and feel is not compatible, is not good with the lightning version. Now we want to convert into lightning version, in the sense means go to here and you have to use lightning style sheet is equals to true. So finally, suppose we developed one Visual Force page. That Visual Force page, shall we access from the Lightning? Yes, we can access. But in that Visual Force page, any JavaScript code is there, in the sense means then it is not available. Then it is not available in the sense means that functionality it will not work. We'll discuss that going forward. We'll discuss. So finally, we created one Visual Force page. That Visual Force page we are making as a tab. That tab we are accessing from the classic version. Yes, it is fine. Is it possible to access that Visual Force page tab from the Lightning version? Means yes, we can access, but look and feel is not good. Suppose we want to make into the lightning version, the look and feel is same as lightning version, means you will just go and use lightning style sheet is equals to true. Lightning style sheet is equal to true. See here, now go to here, ABC, search on this one, coming the records, right? Coming the records, right? So we will also see the data in the lightning format by adding this lightning style sheet attribute, right? Any questions on this one? Any questions on this one? Now I'm going to stop the recording.